to celebrate, whether you're Christian or Muslim, you're having a wind down of activities, and you spend time with family and friends. Now, this morning we're talking about the scourge of fireworks here in Nigeria, and particularly in Rivers State. Now, Andrew's conversation was how to curb, the abuse, of fireworks, during that period. And, frankly speaking, it's become a very terrible scenario in this part of the world, particularly in the last decade. Now, growing up, we had fireworks, and I remember my father during this season, talking about the festive season, where we get a bucket, and put a tire around the bucket. All right, basically putting a bucket inside the tire so that in case it was going to burn, it won't harm us, and we'll stay away. And then he'll light it up, and the crackers will go pop pop pop. They were not as big as the ones that people use now. The ones that when they discharge, they pop into bright lights. The fancy ones that we really love. They don't do that. They don't shoot those ones. Or we didn't have those ones, right? And I'm not saying anybody who has those ones is the devil. No, but this is where this conversation is hinged upon. You see, 24th into 25th and 31st into 1st of January this year, there were disturbing videos. I call them very disturbing videos here in Port Harcourt. Rumokoro Junction. What other junction was there? Was that again? I think it was Rumola. And was that at a George Junction? So that's Location Junction. Now, these three junctions, people recorded individuals returning from their places of worship on those nights, and then some young people were basically having they call it knockout wars these days. They point the sticks with the fireworks at each other, back boo boo boo. It all sounds fun, but I think it has got to the point now it's not an irritation. I think it's now gotten to a point where it's not an invitation, I beg your pardon. Now, the governments in Lagos, the governments in Rivers State and Plateau State as well, over the past few years, have repeatedly banned the use and sale of fireworks. But somehow, they've not been able to effect this quote-unquote ban that they instituted for safety reasons as well, because we've seen fireworks, lead to fires, hence fireworks. And let me explain. Why is this so dangerous? Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, fireworks have a good amount of gunpowder residue in them. Gunpowder. Does that sound familiar? Yes. The thing that makes I think on all the what do you call them, police formations across the country that they've not been able to effectively ban or control, because under the act, there's an act in this country concerning explosives and firearms. It is under control. See, the fact that you can't buy gun at Rumokoro Junction Market is because there's a law to that effect. However, one way to circumvent this law, and I hope the police is listening because they should know this, is that people will buy the knockouts, the firecrackers, and when they separate it, when they break it down to its basal form, right, remove the fuse and everything, it's gunpowder. If I put gunpowder inside comb and I put small iron and I shape it as a bullet and I point it, boom, it becomes a weapon. You didn't know that? Now you know. Now you know why this is becoming a very serious problem in this country. So, let me say this. For those of you ages 10 to, 25, because I saw some youths who were in the video who were participating in these things. With utmost courtesy, let me say this, right? It must be observed that the setting off of firecrackers after New Year's Day, this is the part where I'm coming to, because Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, no problem. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, all right, everybody's in celebratory mood. But January 2nd, January 3rd, some nincompoops were busy spending their money burning off firecrackers. Let me say this, right? When you use firecrackers after New Year's Day, it is really a triumph over enthusiasm, not sense. Actually, you have more enthusiasm than you have sense. And this is not, I'm not flattering people. It's not nice. See, what possible purpose this serves beyond announcing a very stubborn devotion to needless noise and stupidity is a mystery worthy of study, which is what we're doing this morning. Because as the celebration has long packed its bags and gone, we're no longer in the 1st of January, or neither are we in the 31st of December. Some of you are still stuck in that mood. See, I can only admire really the confidence it requires to make irritation for admiration. You are irritable. You're making other people. Imagine women who have high blood pressure, men who have high blood pressure at 2 a.m. in the morning, they're trying to sleep, and next thing, January 2nd or 3rd, they hear psh, bah, 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 and some squirrels in human forms are chirping all about. It was very discouraging to see that these are not the future leaders. These are probably the runts of the litter. These are not future leaders. I'm sorry to say. Anyway, so let me encourage you, right? That whilst we are all cheerful and we are happy that we're in the new year, please stop using the explosives, because that's what they are. They are explosives. And allow common sense, which apparently for a lot of you in Rumokoro, in Ada George, Location Junction, or Zuoba and Choba Junction, seemingly is expensive to obtain. Please, do get some, so that all of us can have peace of mind. And with that, I present the question this morning. Should youths or adults be blamed for the abuse of firecrackers? Should it be those 25-year-olds who finally got a car somehow and they're with their friends after crossover service and they're, hey, pack, 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 pack? Or is it the adults who have the shops that I saw selling to these children, selling to these adults, who they probably, particularly if you sell to an adult, right? Yeah. But when a child comes to you, 10, 12-year-old, and he's telling you, give me 10,000 naira worth of banga, and you're giving him, maybe something is wrong with you.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk. With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
017-923-0002, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0003. All right, at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook, and X at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Then please send us a message to 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Should the youths or the adults be blamed for the abuse of firecrackers in River State? That's my question. Once again, the number to send us your message, 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Yeah, this one says, please, before you go into the main course of presentation, please help us ask PhD why the whole of Minita Estate off East West Road, opposite Jefta Schools and the virus, is still in blackout. Oh my days. 20,000 units that usually last less than 10 days in my apartment is still not exhausted since the 24th of December to date. This is Band A for crying loud from Sphere. All right. So apparently you don't have power in that area. Interestingly, I was meant to move there. I need to find out what's going on again, because that place, I keep getting complaints about that place every single time. It's a cascade of events going on there. IK says, Jude, good morning. I think it is both parties, not just the youths or the old people who are responsible. For me, I think the youths really have no control, and nobody has been able to catch them, to punish them for making such a nuisance. And then the old people for selling it in the first case. Well, okay, I understand that people have to make money, right? So those, quote unquote, the adults who have these businesses where you can buy, knockout, aka bangat, right? They have a right to make money. But like I said, there's meant to be a restriction. It's kind of like the way, you are not meant to sell alcohol to a child. Maybe that's the way I see it, right? Maybe that's the way I see it. But what about the adults? Those grown up babies who decide that, I spent 20,000 naira on this firecracker, aka this banger. This is what really gets to me. So on the 1st of January, a lot of people, lit theirs, and they had a great time, no problem. Disturbing the peace, by the way, no problem. So why didn't you just use all of them that day? Why did you not have to wait till the 2nd of January and even the 3rd of January? And you know the vexing thing? They were not lighting this in at night. In broad daylight. You're about to say shower. to be harsh, but like I said, this year we'll promise to do our job as well as we possibly can, and we'll probably be taking on a very heavy and pertinent conversation. And this is one of them: the foolhardiness of some individuals when it comes to firecrackers. It's amazing how that's little device. I understand it's something that we use to mark, when a very important person passes on, particularly of royal lineage in this country. In some parts of the community, you have the cannon shoot, right? You hear the 7 cannons, boom, 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 for a very important person that has departed this world, which is great. But you see, they don't shoot the cannons 7 days or 2 days after his burial. Usually when that burial is done, or maybe a day or two before, that's when it happens, even on the day of the burial. They keep it, respectful. So I do not understand how people who have been in River State for a long time, some of you are in your 20s, some of you have children. Yeah, let me say that. Some of you have children. And yet on January 2nd, and even on January 1st, right? I can understand January 1st, the enthusiasm, the excitement of a brand new year. Everybody, boo, boo, yeah, Happy New Year. But on the 2nd of January, at 1 p.m., that's 1 in the afternoon, when some of us who did not go to the village were trying to rest, we were still hearing firecrackers, aka knockouts, aka banger, aka some people's money burning away, making unnecessary noise. I think it's very selfish. But more appalling than the selfishness of it, right? It is the ignorance that begs the question, who is to blame? Because whilst you and your children are having a good laugh, lighting, the firecrackers and having a good time, somebody is trying to sleep. And you know what really bothered a lot of people who I spoke to about this scenario is that they were not the tiny ones. They come in different grades. Those knockouts, nothing. They were the big ones. The 15,000 naira types, the 20,000 naira, the types that you have to put in a bucket, in a basin, and you light the fuse and you run away. And then it starts to burn, and when it gets to the pit of that particular firecracker and they start to be released, all you hear is push, 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 boom, 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 boom. And you can hear that for close to 3 to 10 minutes in the afternoon, January 2nd. In fact, when it happened in my area, I kept wishing I could just call the police, right? And we can find whoever these children are or whoever these adults are and have them arrested, because we're constituting a nuisance. That's how bad it was. Jude, you're taking it too far. Am I? Imagine somebody who's trying to sleep. Imagine somebody who's resting. Imagine people who are just having a good time and then they hear boom. There's a panic button that immediately gets triggered. Because you are expecting the bang, you are fine. The other person who's not expecting the bang is not fine. So who really has more of the responsibility here? The youths who have the energy to run around like, confused rats? Or is it the adults who have no qualms, not a single bother about whom it is they sell these firecrackers to?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Stimulating and insightful conversations. Hello, Port Harcourt. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
017-923-0002, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook, and X at Nigeria Info. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Then send us a message to 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Once again, this last number that I just reeled out is for the reception of messages. Okay, so whether it's your WhatsApp message or your SMS, would love to read them. Okay, 0809 030 6416. Well, back to WhatsApp. This one says, Jude, top of the morning to you. As I type this message from Elele today, being the 6th day in January, it's actually the 5th day, right? Firecrackers are actively and steadily going off at the station roundabout. They began as early as October last year, up until now, October. Ironically, a patrol van is often parked at the said runabout while this special variant of madness is going on. More of the blame rests on the users, not the helplessly and hapless parents. Hashtag Oma with that comment. Oma, thank you very much. Elele, Abba. I thought you guys were like the seat of moderation and sense. Why is this happening here? Why? It begs the question. I am befuddled, if I'm honest. Why would Elele residents, particularly the younger ones, don't they have anything to do? Are they bored? God's will is on the line for me, Warfare. God's will, good morning to you. Hello, God's will, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, please. Yes, please.
Yes, good Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
The topic that is on right now, which you brought up, it's as if you are trivializing the topic as it is. Because there was an incident on the 31st night that involved my son, actually.
Oh, dear.
After the night, the fireworks that we're talking about, the rocket. Rocket.
Yes.
The youth around the area started shooting this thing against each other and against the people that that just finished the service.
Yes.
So one of the hit my boy. Yes, he was rushed to the hospital.
Oh dear.
And the scan was conducted after the whole thing. I don't know, they said maybe the particles of the thing.
Yes.
Inside because he's going to undertake his surgery this morning.
Oh my goodness.
It was stolen, and his bone was actually broken as well.
What?
Yes. So it is a very, very serious matter that the government needs to address. It is not a laughing matter. It is not a laughing matter. Imagine if that went straight to his chest or any part, maybe eye or anything. It's not a laughing matter. This thing should be stopped. It should be banned. It should not be tolerated in any society. Because it is just like you said, gunpowder. These are weapons of war, and we are joking with it. It is not right. It's something that was supposed to be joyful that went sour.
I am so sorry.
I mean, it should be made loud. It should be made loud, and it should be banned.
I'm
they
so.
Were actually shooting it
at each other. Yes, we got the report. I saw the videos myself. I saw the videos.
Sorry?
I said we got the report and I saw the videos as well.
Yes. And it didn't happen in they said it happened in so many locations. Several places. It should not be sold anymore. It should be banned. The police should be on the matter. Whenever it's 31st or maybe Xmas Day, even Easter, these things should not be allowed. It should not be allowed. Thank you.
Thank you, Gospel. I wish your son the very best, and I hope the surgery, comes out successful. This is one of the things that we complain about. Because it doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it's not dangerous. once again, your banger has gunpowder in it. That's what gives it the bang sound that a lot of people love. Gunpowder is very much regulated in almost every country on the planet. Yes, you can purchase your firecrackers depending on the size and whatever. Those tiny, tiny ones, you can. But even those ones, there's still a level of control, because in large sums, it can cause a big problem. It can cause a big problem. Fires have been initiated because of firecrackers. And now we're hearing a young boy is now going to have surgery this morning because of the ineptitude of both the security agencies and indeed the foolhardiness of oh no. This is sad. This is very, very, very sad. Very sad. Once again, my heart goes out to you, Mr. Godswill, and to your family. And like I said, I really do hope that the surgery, goes on successfully and there's no permanent damage to the physique of your child, barring maybe a scar, because, after they do operations, there's always a scar. But like you said, you turned an exciting moment into one of regret. I can imagine how he feels as a father. I should not have carried my child out on that night. Meanwhile, the perpetrators of these things are somewhere now, probably soaking Gary. It's very unfair, people. It really is. And to those of you who are in support of, having people continue to celebrate, I cannot fault you for wanting to celebrate. Everybody should celebrate. But where's the role of, decorum? More messages now. 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Jude, you're talking of shooting firecrackers till the 2nd of January. Come to my estate. They were shooting till last night. I bet you they shoot again this evening. The insane part of this whole thing is that they point the firecrackers in the position of another building while it blasts. I mean, in a reserved area like this with supposedly enlightened heads of households, they can't call their wards to order. Honestly, it is disappointing. Celia with that comment. Yeah, I second that. Disappointing. I wonder what the parents are doing. What have they been teaching their children? In a reserved area like this, you help your son or your daughter purchase, firecrackers. And then rather than what is described or prescribed, you have it go straight up into the sky and have it explode. And maybe if there are fireworks, display, it comes out, everybody's happy. You are now using it as what? War start. Click wars. Rival building wars against each other. Forgetting that people have lost limbs. When I was in Benin, somebody lit it. Those ones, the ones they call banga. Somebody lit it, threw it. It fell on somebody else's hand and blew. That guy has his thumb off. Muriel is on the line from Okrika. Good morning to you.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome, please. I can hear you, please. Good morning.
Okay. Please, let me know your exact question.
No, so the question I ask, is it the youths or the adults, those who sell, that have more responsibility in the abuse of these firecrackers?
Is it what?
Is it the youths who are using them or those who sell them that have more responsibility in the abuse of firecrackers?
I think it's the sellers.
The sellers?
Who go against the law and frustration. And they don't just purchase and then they go ahead and sell to minors. The children go and buy from them directly and they sell to them. Look, I couldn't even go for watch night service because of this standard, because of my last experience last week. I told myself, I'm not going to this place. Let it be online. All of us agree to it because the last year's experience was terrible. They are not even throwing it out. They are throwing it directly to the car, to your car.
Why? That's what I don't understand.
They are throwing it directly into the window. And you don't know who will you vote when the boys are many. So I think it's those that go ahead and buy it, against government regulation and even sell to minors that are responsible for it. But no one should be excluded from it. Even the minors, all those men should be punished. But the major blame goes to the sellers.
All right, major blame goes to the sellers. Thank you very much, Miro. Victor's on the line from Rumu Christian. Victor.
Very quick, I think this knockout or whatever we call it, I
Yes.
think we should be bound for now if we cannot regulate it very well, because a lot of issues, especially in Rumu Christian here, it becomes something else, and especially that very 31st night that breaks the bed. A lot of persons use it to rob people and the rest of them.
They use it to rob.
Serious budget now, what for you? It's not a strange thing now. It's not a strange thing. Somebody should call and tell you that what I'm saying is a lie. They use it to rob. In fact, that night, a lot of persons, when after the church at night, they stay back, especially in Rumukruti here, because they use it to rob. They use it to rob. They rob people. They collect people phones, and they throw it directly to people. They shoot it directly to people. Somebody like me, I didn't even observe that the other one that they call Banga. They shoot it to my leg. What I observed was, I shot. I jump and they laughed. And they went.
They laughed. These children laughed. I think I remember sharing this experience with you. Was that November when I was at the market, or early December? And then a group of boys at that Rumukuta area, they were going around, and then somebody threw it, and then it's not me. And then as I was walking, it just fell in front of me, and I held the person who had the lighter, and I slapped him. I'm saying it now. I slapped him because I have lived the life of people who survived that kind of attack. And I've seen people have lost limbs. That's an attack on my person. And the sad thing is that these children, so like somebody said, that it's disappointing to have children, from enlightened parents act like this. So why does a child not realize that thing that they're throwing is dangerous? If a child knows that if you throw a knife at somebody, you could hurt the person, how come a child doesn't know that if you light a firecracker and throw it at somebody, it could hurt the person? That's what I'm talking about. It fell on my feet. God's will from Ogbogoro. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Jude.
Good morning. It's ordinary. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Before we enter Christmas properly, like towards this first week, I wrote an open letter to the IGP of police to place a ban on the sale of these firecrackers. But they didn't take it serious.
Uh-huh.
Had it been like insulted the IGP of police, they would have tracked me down to where I was staying to arrest me. But, the country we live in now, every year is changing. And it's not something that we begin to put more panic on people's minds, he should have placed it, but so that we know when a real gunshot is being hit and when this firecracker is being displayed. And moreover, there are people who have this high blood pressure.
Yes.
It's not good for them to be hearing this kind of thing around them. We are just too serious in this country. I don't know. Now, if other person has sustained injury, if only our security agencies were up and doing, we wouldn't have been recording this kind of incidents. Anyway, it's a lesson for another day. Thank you. Good morning.
It's a lesson for another day. Why not today, really? Why not today? It's very sad, really. Somebody's now going to the hospital to have a surgery because of this thing. Walter is on the line from Rukbak. Walter, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, my good brother. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir. Good morning.
I have not spoke this year. So,
no, Happy New Year, yes.
Happy New Year, yeah. Jude.
Yes, please.
You see, I personally and all of us, then we call it knockouts.
Yes.
Not to this type they are shooting these days. You see, like somebody said, even today, if you come to my place, they were still. There was a day. Is it day before a year before last? Even last year they practiced it. They say a day of knockouts, and you see all these children shooting all these things by each other. That year before last, somebody that is shot somebody on the eye. That eye damaged you today.
Oh no.
Yes, in my place, El Pokodi here.
Oh no.
That big tree. Before that big tree.
Oh no.
They have a special day where all of them will come. Most of these Yahoo boys that they don't know how to write their names, I still challenge them. Where they get the money, I don't know. You see one person buying knockout or this, they call it, 100,000, 200,000. And you are telling me that, see, the way to stop this thing is just like a cigarette. They say at the package, it says, smokers are liable to die young. The way to stop all this is to stop the manufacturers, not the sellers. If the manufacturers will stop all these things, you see that nobody will complain. We talk. The manufacturers are still manufacturing the thing.
Yeah, but the thing, Walter, the thing on its own is not the problem. It's the way it is being used.
Yes, the way they are using it, that is our concern anyway. It's our concern. But nobody, they will not take correction. I'm telling you that they are still shooting. Even as I'm talking with you now, they are not cutting, they are shooting. So the way to stop it, the only way to stop it is to stop the manufacturers. That's the only solution to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Walter from Brookboko. Let's go on and read your messages. All right. 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Good morning, Mr. Jude. This crossover night that just passed, myself and some people decided to sleep in church till morning before going to our house because of what we saw the previous year. Youths at a junction were shooting at themselves. It was God that helped me to escape. If you're outside and you see what humans do with firecrackers, Mr. Jude, you will wonder whether we are still human beings. Government will hear all these complaints. Instead of checking the hell people are going through, they will use it as politics. Who is 001? Our work should speak for us. Amy, with that comment. Amy, thank you very much. Jude, if you want the video, I can send to you where they were challenging. I've seen videos. Now, this one says, Jude, I blame the elders for selling the banger and also the youths for buying it. See, Jude, this banger killed 2 and injured others around my area, and it's because they were using it to challenge themselves. This village and this neighboring village, this street challenging the other street, this banger challenge is common amongst the quote-unquote Yahoo boys. This so-called new takers challenging the old takers. New takers. Wow, what's going on? Joseph from Amagua. Joseph, thank you very much for that message. All right, more messages. All right, this one says, I may be more disgusted than you. The shock, the injury. A doctor friend of mine talked about someone whose jaw was shifted because it erroneously hit him. The adults that shoot it with the kids, allowing the kids to shoot it in the name of fun, are to be blamed. When the kids become young adults, they see it as the way to go. Okay, with that comment. Okay, thank you very much. The jaw shifted. Well, you're lucky. Well, at least that person's jaw can be, reset. Imagine the person who lost their life. We can't reset that. All right, good morning, Jude. Happy New Year. Destiny here. Jude, I feel it should not be banned but regulated because it is an exciting moment for the youths and the adults, but it is dangerous, right? The gunpowder is the ingredient for making bullets and weaponry. Even my dad's tenant was hit with this cracker. He's lucky it's just a small injury. Can you imagine? A girl was even robbed and threatened that if she doesn't pass with her phone, they will shoot her directly, and she had to let it go. Oh, wow. Rumokuta is the worst. The children will even laugh at you after throwing it at you. Heaven will help any child, any youth that will be caught this 2026 December. Heaven will help them, hopefully in a good way. Now, in my former compound, a guy had his house, oh my goodness, burnt because this cracker hit his electric wires. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? He went for holiday and also to get married. Imagine him coming back to Port Harcourt with his new bride to meet his house in ashes. It is bad for real. Thank you. So you all are listening to this comments. You all are listening to it. The police, I'm sure some of you are paying attention as well. The takers and the new Yahoo boys, I hope people are listening as well. You could be charged for manslaughter if you are held. And maybe you should, because the noise pollution alone is deplorable. Hello, Jude. Good morning and Happy New Year. Sunday here. I want to imagine that most of these firecrackers is not made here. They are imported. Yeah, true. If the police wants to truly ban it, they should control it from the port of entry. The major blame should go to the importers. Thank you very much. So how can one purchase what you don't see? Exactly. Somebody's asking. All right, Jude, someone banned from banger shots in Rumumasi 2024. Last year, someone got injured badly at the Lekaya. I took a friend to switch service. They shot at us. She was also so terrified I had to protect her till I sent her home. It should be banned, KC is saying. All right, so more calls for the ban of firecrackers. The question is, did it have to get to this point? Something that was meant to be for entertainment all over the world. They use firecrackers, but they are responsible about it. Here, you guys have turned it to start injuring people and maiming others.